Hello everyone, today I'm flying a single player mission made by Mr.Explosion. This is available on the Eagle Dynamics website for download. Details on how at the end of the video. The mission is called Leitjäger and it is for the Anton. The sound of rain on the canopy. We've got a morning start. It's completely overcast, just a bit of light. I'll read through this briefing that's been provided on screen here. Good morning, Lieutenant. Your orders for today are to take off immediately and rendezvous with a swarm of Ju-88 torpedo bombers above Jersey Harbour, just to the west of our airfield. Once you link up with the bombers, you will be guided by a JLO, call sign Brutus, to one of our reconnaissance aircraft that is currently following an enemy convoy. The convoy was probably led astray by recent stormy seas, but be careful, our recon reports that it is well defended by several destroyers. Your call sign for today will be Odysseus. You will fly on your own to Jersey since we need the rest of the Geschwader to protect our airspace. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory, I hope. Flying out to Jersey on my own to link up with some Ju-88s and then to take the Ju-88s on to a recon aircraft that's shadowing an enemy convoy. So quite an interesting mission premise, I must say. I'm just going through, turning on all my circuit breakers. Oxygen will be on. We'll engage the fuel to the one I want to use. We'll turn the magnetos on. And then we'll just quickly check everything else. I will switch the guns on. Or power the guns rather, and I will put the flaps to the takeoff position, and then we'll be ready to start the engine. One more thing actually, I'll check what loadout we've got. Single 500-pound bomb, that's interesting, so they've armed me up with a bomb as well. Okay, we'll go with dive bomb, no delay. Let's start the aircraft, and then I'm going to close the canopy because no doubt I'm getting soaking wet with all this rain coming down. Looks clear all around here. There's another aircraft parked just over there. Looks like a 109. Pretty quiet though this morning at the field. Brakes on. Spooling up the engine for a few more seconds. Let's try and start. Alright, engine's ticking over, about 1,000 RPM. I'm going to close. There we are, not getting wet now. Probably a lot of water sloshing around in the bottom of the cockpit here as a result of me sitting there with the canopy open for so long. Takes a while to warm up the Anton. I'm going to let it come up to 25, 30 degrees. So I'll skip forward in time because you don't really want to watch that. Just hitting my temperatures now. Time for taxi then. I'll go to the right. Looks like we've got a taxiway and a runway threshold off to the right here. No traffic. That's a bit of a shame that we've got these baked in radio transmissions that come with DCS. I think you can get rid of those by setting the aircraft to radio silence, but I'm not quite sure. I can't quite remember. I think that's the only way to get rid of them. So maybe a thing there for guys who are making historical missions. If you don't want to have to put up with those modern DCS voices, there's a big strong wind, set the aircraft to radio silence. Let's taxi out then onto the runway threshold. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to come to a stop first, so don't get too excited. Okay. Whoopsie. Okay, quick check of everything before we go then. Let's power on. And we're just going to climb out to the west, I guess, a little bit. Nice, easy takeoff there. Bring the gear up. And the flaps up. That is a south-easterly heading that we got airborne on. So I'm going to make a right turn to the south and then the west as I fight with this aeroplane to try and get the rudder.
Guten Morgen, Leutnant. I am your Leitjäger Leitoffizier for this mission. Your aircraft has equipment that lets me measure your exact position and guide you to the target. Your task is to fly the course provided by me and lead a schwarm of Lucas bombers to the target we will light soon. It is critical for mission success that you pay close attention and follow my orders. Always stay on channel 1 so I can measure your current position and keep you updated. For now, fly a heading of 270 degrees to Jersey Harbor, where you will rendezvous with our bombers. Utus Ende.
Excellent. So I've been given instructions to fly 270. Very nice audio file voiceover there. That sounds like Mr. Explosion's voice actually. I think he may have recorded that audio himself. Very nicely done. We're going to turn left onto 270 and start heading out towards the convoy. That's about 270. I can actually see aircraft over the island. There is a lot of them as well. It's a huge number of airplanes. So it could be maybe 2 squadrons worth of Ju-88s. It's a big crowd. I'll level off at this and bring my engine back. I'll go with 1.2 ATA. Off we go. Straight out to Jersey on a heading of about 270. The island's dead ahead of me. The sun is rising in the east behind. Beautiful lighting conditions. Pretty scary white caps too over the ocean here. Looks like it'll be 3 or 4 minutes getting to Jersey. So I think I'll fly the leg without skipping the time forward. We'll just keep an eye out for other aircraft and the like. I do still have my external lights on and I'm going to keep them on. What I might do is set my artificial horizon though, because in case we end up in the cloud, that's going to come in handy if we have to do any instrument flying. So we'll just uncage that now. It's a little bit off center, but it's good enough to give me a general feel for my attitude should I get up into some cloud. I think this strong wind is going to cause some problems at some point. I can imagine dropping a bomb is going to be a little difficult, both to point my aircraft in the right direction and to get the bomb trajectory right. It looks like the wind was coming from the west, almost straight. No, it was coming from the southeast, wasn't it? I took off to the southeast, pretty much into wind. So the wind is coming from behind me. Yeah, I can see my aircraft actually being pushed along. So the wind is coming from that direction. So if I'm pointing into sun when I drop my bombs, I'm pretty much pointing into wind as well. Good little tip to remember. got visibility on this formation up ahead. The lighting is pretty special. I love these conditions. This is a big formation. They're quite loosely spread out, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, maybe 20 or just less than 20 aircraft up ahead. And they appear to be circling over the western side of this island, Jersey.
I see you reach Jersey. Now enter a left-hand orbit over Jersey Harbor. Turn on your navigation lights so you can be spotted easily. Remember, you are the lead plane in today's mission. The Junkers torpedo bombers must be able to follow you. I just received information that Kriegsmarine is sending Schnellboote to aid us in our attack, and the Jagdgeschwader 301 is sending Submesserschmitt Schmidt BF-109er to provide air cover, just in case the Tomies try to rescue the convoy. Photos ended.
Okay, quite a lot of information to absorb here. I've got to make a left-hand orbit with my nav lights on. My nav lights are on, or my position lights are on. So I'm going to bring the aircraft speed back, because apparently the Ju-88s won't be going faster than 350. And I've got a left-hand orbit here until the 88s have kind of caught up with me. I can see them all now. I've got aircraft just over there, and then more over there, and I'm sort of in amongst them now, underneath me on the left here. So I'm pretty much in the middle of the Ju-88 formation. I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to set my takeoff flaps, and that's how I'm going to keep this aircraft slow enough. I'm just going to fly with the takeoff flaps. Orbiting the harbour.
Brutus an Odysseus. I will start measuring your bearing towards Holzauge, or Vieseler Storch, keeping track of the enemy ships. Wait for me to measure your position and calculate your route. After receiving direction information from me, you must fly at a maximum of 350 kilometers per hour, so our Junkers torpedo bombers can keep up with you. You are ordered to wait for them if needed. Brutus ended.
Right, more instructions. After receiving, okay, so they're going to track my position, but I'm to stay slow enough for the 88s to follow me, and then if I get separated, I'm supposed to turn back or slow down or whatever I can do to stay with the 88s. So here they all are, a few of them out on the right.
Brutus an Odysseus. I am now starting to measure your position and calculate your route to our recon aircraft, Holzauge, who is following the enemy convoy.
Ju-88.
Please stay on radio channel 1 and fly as straight as possible to allow for correct measurement. Brutus ended.
Okay, so straight and level flight, as straight as possible, 350 or less, and I've got the Ju-88 swinging around behind me. They are actually latching onto me now. This is brilliant. Look at this. The Ju-88s are forming up behind me. That's a very nice piece of mission design. Excellent work.
Brutus an Odysseus. I have successfully measured your position. You are to rendezvous with Holzauge at the following bearing and range. Brutus ended.
Okay, so I need to fly 271 for 30 kilometers to find Holzauge, Wood Eyes, who is the recon aircraft. So 271, left slightly. I'm a bit slow, so I'm going to push the throttle now. And I'm going to get onto 271. I can see the Ju-88s. You can probably see them there, queuing up behind me, some at the same altitude, some below, and some further back still turning. So they're all following me. Now, I wonder how he's done that. He might have used the escort instruction, Or the follow instruction. Yeah, he's probably used the follow instruction. That's really good mission design. You don't tend to see that often in missions. Nice work. So I've got to fly 271 for 70 kilometers. So this is going to be a good 6 to 10 minutes, maybe more than 10 minutes actually, flying time. Yeah, much more. At 350, this is a good 12 minutes flying time. So we're going to be punching out to sea now. I'm hitting 340, 360, throttle back a bit. Lots of Ju-88s behind me. Beautiful sight with the lighting as well. Excellent decision making for this mission so far. I'm very impressed with how this has been put together. Bit quick, throttle back. I wonder what happens if I change course dramatically. Will the Ju-88s turn as well? Yes, they are going to follow me. So I actually do need to stay on course, because if I don't fly the right course, neither will the bombers. They are actually following me. So if I just go off in the wrong direction, or if I try to follow them, the mission won't work. You have to do what you're being told to do. Well done. Bit fast. I need to just slow down. I'll try and stick with about 1.04 ATA-ish, and that should give me a reasonable airspeed. I think I'll raise the seat up just a little.
I am now starting to measure your position and calculate your route to our recon aircraft, Leitjäger, who is following the enemy convoy. Please stay on radio channel 1 and fly as straight as possible to allow for correct measurement. Autos ended.
Okay, that was exactly the same message again, so it's probably being triggered based on a new waypoint. So many Ju-88s.
Autos an Odysseus. I have successfully measured your position. You are to rendezvous with Leitjäger at the following bearing and range. Autos ended.
So our current bearing remains 270, which is about what I'm on, and the range now to Leitjäger is 47 kilometers, give or take. Can I see this aircraft? Yes, I can. I've got sight of a grey dot on the horizon just here where my cursor is. That's got to be the recon aircraft. Okay, so I can see him at about 45 kilometers range. That's not bad. Just a single dot. Greyish shape. Very, very pale. If I was a little bit higher and he was below the horizon, I wouldn't see him at all. So I'm just seeing him because he's shadowed against the, or silhouetted against the pale sky. In fact, if he was a bit higher up against the cloud, I wouldn't see him either. So this is a good altitude then to be flying out on. My airspeed is just below 350, which is perfect. Got the Ju-88s there still. Excellent. This does feel incredibly slow, and I wonder if it's due to the headwind that we're flying into, that despite doing 350 or so, it just feels like we're making no progress at all across the map. It's possible that our ground speed is a good 50 kph slower than our airspeed, our indicated airspeed. If that's a howling gale out there. maybe even more. I think winds of up to 80 kph, probably not terribly uncommon out here. I think I can afford to add some more throttle because the Ju-88s aren't far behind. I'm going to also change my fuel indicator selector over to the rear tanks. Still got plenty in there, it seems. Bit more throttle. There's some pretty close bombers. They are not far behind at all. I've got sight of the ships as well now, I believe. That looks like the ship convoy over here. I'd say they're only 20 k's away, maybe 30. Where's my recon aircraft? There he is.
Autos are not desoys. I am now starting to measure your position and calculate your route to our recon aircraft, Leitjäger, who is following the enemy convoy. Please stay on radio channel 1 and fly as straight as possible to allow for correct measurement.
Okay, I'm just going to fly a little bit off course just to see if it adjusts that bearing from 270 and the range. So I'm flying a little off course now to the south. So I reckon it should say 28, maybe 275 to 280 by the time it reports back. We'll see.
Autos an und desoys. I have successfully measured your position. You are to rendezvous with Leitjäger at the following bearing and range. Autos Ende.
Okay, 271. It did add 1 degree. I must have not been flying away enough. So it does appear to be a dynamic and responsive direction finder that's being used here. That's an interesting piece of code. So I'm quite keen to interrogate this mission actually once I've played it, because there's some really nice bits of mission design that have gone into this. Here's the bombers. The ships now are somewhere over here. Where are they? There. We're almost broadside onto the ships, which is where we want to be. I might drop down a little. I'll see if the bombers come down as well. Not quite sure if they're descending. No, they won't go down any further than that. That's putting them dangerously low. If they think they're going to collide with each other, they'll start doing what that one just did, which is kind of an evasive up maneuver. Or if they think they're getting close to the terrain, they do that as well. Let's see when the bombers start making their attack run. See if I can find my recon aircraft. There he is. It's right off the nose on about 275 degree heading. There's just a couple of Ju-88s behind me on the left. Most of them are directly behind me on the right or out to my 4 o'clock position out there. You can see how many there are now. 4 plus another 4, a straggler, Another 6 and a straggler over here, and then possibly that one there. So there's about, yeah, 20, give or take.
Protoss an Odysseus. Holzonkel told me he spotted you and will shoot a flare to help you see him.
Green flare, there he is.
The fleet is just to the northwest of his position. You can turn off your navigation lights now.
Oh,
I will
okay.
order the bombers to attack the convoy.
Bombers are
Use
attacking
your
now.
ordnance against the enemy ships and conduct further attacks using your own judgment. RTV when finished. Good job so far, sir.
Okay, well, there we go. Here come the J-88s. I am going to use my ordnance as instructed. There's the shipping over there. So what I might do is just do a big S-turn and then sit behind these Ju-88s for their first attack. Then quickly climb up and try and get a bomb away. But I should bomb in the other direction so that I can bomb into wind. That my bomb will just fall short and it won't go too much off to the side. Dropping in now. I turn my lights off. Flak is starting to come up. Got some heavy-ish flak and lighter stuff as well. There's a J-8 in front. I think I'm going to have to drop right down to the deck. Oh yeah. A lot of Ju-88s in front of me down low. Making a torpedo run. Right, I'm going to get down amongst them, bring my flaps now fully up. You can see the 88s in front of me here. Quite a lot of flak going up from the ships. I'm flying right into it too. One of the aircraft is on fire or venting. This one's been hit. Okay. The aircraft is starting to get hit now. I'm going to break off and try and draw some of this flak then away from the 88s. Oh, flashing and flicking. Oh wow, there's a lot of tracer coming up. Wow. I'm drawing quite a lot of tracer, which is good. It's what I want. Away from the 88s. This is good. Damaged bombers coming underneath me there. Lots of tracer whipping past at close range. Wow, they've really got the hop for me, these gunners. But that's good news, I guess, because it's going to keep it off the bombers. Just got to keep turning here. Oh, there's a torpedo hit on that ship. So the first torps have started landing. It's that flicking that's been happening with DCS since about 4 months ago. So only one indication so far of a torpedo strike connecting with a ship. I've got more flak going up over there, which suggests to me there's more Ju-88s inbound. That ship is burning. Oh, another torpedo strike over there. Another ship hit. So I've seen, oh look, 2, 3 more hits in quick succession. Alright, time for me to make my attack run. I want to try and do this with the smoke behind me, or the wind behind me, so I'm going to use the smoke now to line up. And that smoke appears to be blowing straight down the line of that ship. So that's the line I'm going to take. It's not quite the direction I thought it was going. Check my weapons are set. Single bomb loaded on, single red light. Dive, no delay. Alright, oh that smoke is going off in a strange direction actually. Yeah, it's left of another torpedo hitting another ship. It's left of straight ahead. Wow, I'm tempted to go after this big ship down here, the one that's firing now. Because I think it's just an easier oh, I just got hit by a torpedo as well. Okay, that's the one I'm going for.
Fotos an Odysseus. Achtung, Tausendfüßler picked up fresh radar signals close to your position. Judging by their speed, it might well be fighter planes trying to protect the convoy.
Oh dear.
They must have spotted our recon plane following the convoy all morning. Put your head on a swivel. Fotos
Okay.
ended.
So now we've got fighters inbound. This is not great. I've got to get my bomb attack completed here pretty quickly. I'm going to try and line up on this ship. This bigger one here that's smoking just under my... Is it gone in? No. Okay, let's line up on this one. Now I'm going to have to aim long, I think. And I've got to get this bomb away early. The bomb's probably going to fall short. Okay, bomb gone. Pulling up. The light is out. The bomb released. Oh, it landed long. There's the splash just beyond the ship. Okay, the bomb is away. Apparently there are fighters coming in. Wow, tracer. Certainly caused some pretty good damage to that convoy. Flak bursting just off to the left there against the dark clouds, and you can see we've got this oily black smoke still hanging in the air above the convoy. I think one of the big ships has gone in. Time to try and pick up the Ju-88s now and help them get home. Depending on how many are left. Okay, I've got some of them visible over in this direction. Oh, aircraft diving out of the sky. I think we've got fighter contacts up here. Or parachutes. It's the Ju-88's climbing home, I think. But they are oscillating around a lot. I'll try and pick them up. Leave the convoy behind. Look at that, it's still going on over there. Another one of the big ships has been hit, and there's a Ju-88, I think they're burning, streaking across the sky, being hammered by the flak, and maybe a couple more down low as well. And it looks like these other 88s have climbed. They may be climbing for the safety of the cloud, so I'm going to go up as well. I've got one at left of my 12 here, just a bit higher up there, that black shape. So I'll climb up with this guy. Here's the stack of Ju-88s. So I'll go whipping past the first one, and I'll take up a position. Oh, look at that convoy now. Decimated. Good to see quite a few of these 88s getting away as well. They didn't just get completely slaughtered. They're really climbing, I think, for cloud cover or just to gain a bit of altitude to get home. That looks really impressive. Looking back down the line of the bombers towards the convoy in the distance, big thick black smudges on the horizon. Beautiful. No sign of the enemy fighters yet, so hopefully we can get away from them by pushing back towards home. I am S-turning over the top of these 88s now. It's going to be hard to see fighters if they do arrive though. More aircraft off in that direction. Looks like more Ju-88s. And there's still some aircraft attacking that convoy. Most of them are well away now. I think I'll skip time forward then as we head back home, and unless we bump into any fighters on the way, I'll see you as we approach the home airfield.
Heavy attack by Allied bomber and ground attack aircraft. Under no circumstances return to Lissay. Instead, divert to our airfield at Mont Saint-Michel. I will guide you there once you need to RTB and request guidance on this channel. Fotos Ende.
Now that is very interesting. We've been told that our home airfield is under attack and that I should divert to Mont Saint-Michel, which is not actually an airfield on the Normandy map. So either Mr.Explosion has built a new airfield down there, or we've got a mission end despawn in that location. We've got a new option for communications here, which I'm going to use then. 10. Request guidance to Mont Saint-Michel.
Fotos an Odysseus. Victor Odysseus. Fly straight and stay on radio channel 1 so I can measure your current position and provide you with the correct estimate to Jagdgeschwader 901.
Okay. So same as before now. I'm supposed to maintain my heading and whatnot so that they can get a fix, and then we'll turn for this alternate airfield.
Fotos an Odysseus. I have successfully measured your position. Fly the following bearing and range to find your landing grounds at Mont Saint-Michel. Fotos Ende.
Righty-ho, 139 for 99.8. That's going to be my heading. 139 for 99.8. 99 kilometers then on this heading. This is my new heading. We're going to ignore Lissay, which is over there somewhere, and fly to these, I'm guessing, improvised landing areas that Mr.Explosion has built on the map. Very interested to see what these look like. I'm approaching Mont Saint-Michel here. I can see the castle and its sandy estuary area around it, and I can also see a couple of hangars and buildings that have been placed around here. So I'm guessing this is the landing grounds that Mr. Explosion has created. Very interesting to see whether I can actually land on this or not. In my experience, landing on the parts of the map that are not explicitly set out to be airfields is very tricky and almost always causes the aircraft to crash. So we'll soon find out if it's actually possible here. Is there a windsock? No sign of a windsock. But we are over the field. So I'm going to try and land. And I think I'm going to try and land from the river mouth to the southeast. Right, this is not going to be easy. I fully expect to crash on landing because of the way the terrain works in DCS. Landing on non-airfield designated terrain almost always causes these aircraft just to nose over. Well, they get really unstable at about 80 to 100 kph as you're on, just as you touch down, or just after you've touched down. So let's see what happens. Coming over this side here. I think I'm pointing into wind. Let's see. Yeah, almost no crosswind at all. Okay, so that's the heading I need to be on. Gear is down. Flaps are down. We'll just go past the castle. And I'll try and land across this open patch towards the trees at the far end. A bit too quick. It's coming over past the castle now. Beautiful use of that building. Managing to get that into the mission design. It's a lovely building. It never gets seen really because, I do have a windsock. Okay, I'm straight on. I'm straight on now. This is perfect heading. Okay, it's good out. It's a good attitude. Good airspeed. Cut the throttle. Okay, that was almost perfect. And there's the problem. There, that's what DCS does. It's almost...
Brutus and Odysseus. Lieutenant, your mission has been a total success thanks to your perfect cooperation. All ships of the Leitjäger have been sunk or heavily damaged. Our Schnellboote have rescued the surviving seamen. Thank you again and very good job. Brutus, Ende.
Well, really, really great piece of mission design from Mr. Explosion, let down only by some problems that DCS creates for mission makers. I don't think there's anything he could have done really better. I probably wouldn't use these parts of the map yet because I think the only aircraft that can actually land on these parts of the map that are ostensibly flat is the P-51 Mustang. It is very, very difficult / nigh on impossible to get any of the German aircraft down onto these places. But as you can see, and this is a bit of a message for Eagle Dynamics, if you could fix this, then we could do a lot more things with your maps as mission designers. Just throwing that out there. Okay, very, very nicely done, Mr. Explosion. Fantastic mission. That building there probably needs to be turned around, maybe. But apart from that, really great stuff. Good use of voiceover, good use of some interesting mission design functions that come with the mission editor. Not sure what additional scripting is in here, but I'm going to have a bit of a look through and see how this was put together. Very good fun indeed. Great, great mission. Now, if you want to download this mission, I'll provide the download link in the video description. The download link itself also has the information on which modules you will need to install to play this mission. That's going to be the Normandy map, the World War II assets pack, and the Anton, the Focke-Wulf module, of course, as well.